All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces, bright and early for the daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere. Their tears are filling up their glasses. No expression, no expression. Hide my head, I wanna drown my sorrows. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I find it kinda funny, I find it kinda sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Ooh, children waiting for the day they feel good. Happy birthday, happy birthday. And they feel the way that every child should. Sit and listen, sit and listen. Went to school and I was very nervous. No one knew me, no one knew me. Hello, teacher, tell me what's my lesson. Look right through me, look right through me. And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very bad world. Mad world. Enlarging your world. Mad world. I wouldn't mind being a millionaire, but I'd never want to be a billionaire. 50 years later. I wouldn't mind being a billionaire, but I'd never want to be one of those soulless trillionaires. Money is ephemeral, friends. Guilt is eternal. So there's nothing wrong with making money. There's nothing wrong with making money, as long as you can stand on business. 10 toes in the paint. What's up, everybody? It's gonna be a short one. It's gonna be a short one. But hopefully it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. And, I hope so. I've been thinking about this for years. That's not really my idea, you know, but it is something I kind of pieced together on my own. The possibility that the moon could be used as a bargaining token for a Dr. Evil mofo like Jeff Bezos is incredibly high. And JFK said we should never put weapons in space. And what are they doing? They're putting weapons in space. They're saying that they have nuclear satellites that can detonate nukes and then cause an EMP burst in a particular area. So they're thinking that they gotta put weapons in space, gotta put these new half plane, half spaceship things up there, and gotta send a bunch of conspicuously mysterious payloads, which is always the worst thing about private companies compared to the public sector, is the fact that the public sector is like they cannot avoid being audited. The proper word that would enrich that particular sentence escapes me, but the public sector is almost always audited. Private sector can't be audited. You can't really audit a private sector area outside of like a court investigation, and that requires a level of buy-in from the private company. They could just literally say, hey, if you come on our property, we'll shoot you. And then it's rough. Like, do you get into a stand? Like, does the police and the SWAT get into a standoff with the company? Depends on how big they are. You know, they're not gonna charge into like automated turrets and stuff like that. Nuh-uh, not for that pay. Ain't happening. Check out this beautiful painting my mom got me. Big ups, Mom. Love you. I really do enjoy Trump this time around. Suffer, Crenshaw. Suffer, Lindsey Graham. Suffer. Suffering is a precursor to greatness. So hopefully you get enough of it to pull out of the wormhole there, fellers. You know, actual ecological activists fingered greenwashing from the get-go, as it propagates invasive species without any sort of... In fact, it seems to propagate invasive species deliberately. So it's like, yeah, that's a good way of clearing out an area, making it ready for a gigantic solar farm, for-profit solar farm, is like plant a bunch of invasives that choke out the native life. And then it's just like, well, what are you protecting? There's nothing protected there. Big thing, fellas. This spring. It's spring. Remember to plant natives, and if you're not planting natives, make sure they don't propagate outside of your yard. You know, if you're planting vegetables and stuff like that, make sure that the raccoons and the birds and the squirrels don't get to them, because they'll spread the seeds. That is deadly to those animals in the long run. You know, you gotta mind that. People are way too squeamish when it comes to dealing with nature. Nature needs to be dealt with a firm hand, but a just sense of morality. Like, really, the way that people have transformed hunting into a killing exercise instead of something more natural like it used to be is a little upsetting. I guess it started kind of back in the day with the whole, you know, kingly hunting expeditions and like the degradation of the noble class. You can kind of see how that leads into this modern degradation of aristocracy, because there's still an aristocracy around. Communism didn't do away with the aristocracies in any of the places that they popped up. So like even their stated goal is not something that they attain to, because they attain too much to like power. You know, that 48 laws of power crap. Communists are all about that 48 laws of power crap, and like you cannot play that game. That's racing to hell on both ends. That's the slippery slope, and it's spiraling down. Don't go tumbling down. Did you know? Oh, hold on. What you normalize for the next generation is important. The Walmart parking lotification of people's enrichment areas explains why they're acting so stupid, so foolish, getting into injuries that they don't need to get into, while simultaneously being like afraid of nature, like actually genuinely afraid of nature. And the first step, it's not like fear is a bad thing. The first step towards love is fear. I used to think in this weird hippy-dippy way when I was younger, which is perfectly normal for younger people, that there's just two poles to the universe: love and fear, love and fear, love and fear. It's very Manichaean, it's very dualist. But in reality, the sources are infinite. The routes are infinite, the eddies are infinite, but the source is unified. And this transformative, positive mechanism by which ideas and philosophies and emotions evolve, which is the real evolution that then leads to physical changes that are just prescribed in the universe as per the laws. In order to make love, this is why I talked about, like, it takes 10 years to destroy something, it takes 10 million years to form. In nature, it happens, it just happens slower. The true cooperation happens over a long, long period of time. And originally, all is fear. Originally, it's all against all, in a Hobbesian sense. But then, in a Rousseauian sense, balance manifests eventually as it's hardened into a diamond from all of that pressure, you see. And the precursor to love is fear. So keep your fear. It'll never escape you. You'll never completely do away with fear, and if you do, you're not a good tactician in any way, shape, or form. But try to transform that fear into love, and it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of willpower. And the concretification of people's living spaces, their enrichment areas, is a flattening, a very communist-like flattening of people's ability to change things, of people's ability to manifest love in a cold world. And as they say in Revelations, worse storms, worse behavior, no man will spare another man. That is the ultimate end state before things are just completely and utterly reset, dinosaur meteor style. And I personally think that isn't an inevitability, but a warning, and that it could happen in a localized area and not in the entire planet all at once, but the whole Revelation prediction is indeed of the entire planet, which it could, like, people could very well burn down massive amounts of the living world after extracting so much resources to try and go up into space, realizing that's never going to work, going underground. That's the plans that I actually genuinely, unironically, not forecasting, but seeing the elites are making, is plans to go underground. And the Japanese are pretty up on this. You can actually see a lot of videos of underground bases and how advanced they can be, and a lot of the contractors are, being monitored by Japanese companies and stuff like that. So that's that. Beware the Walmart parking lotification of your enrichment areas. That's exactly a lot of what I complain about with the way that people are acting with their cars. It's just like, that's the only toys that they can play with. It's the only fun that they can have, and it's a really depressing nightmare, because a lot of those people, a vast majority that I've seen, hate to say it, but a vast majority of the people that I've seen that use vehicles as enrichment do not have proper control of their emotions. They don't. If you can fly into a rage because you're not going like 10, 15 miles faster than you want to, not realizing that you're coming up on a red light and you're going to have to slam on your brakes in a way, not literally slam on them, but definitely do something that isn't necessarily good for your longevity of your vehicle, you do not have control over yourself. You do not have control over your equipment. You're a sloppy craftsman in a way. So that's that. It's good. It's genuinely good. It's really good advice. I chew on this a lot, right? Every time I'm driving, I'm observing everybody. I'm chewing on these issues, and I see it. I see it happening. I see how it's happening, and I see where it's going, and it's not good. So, did you know, back to this point, did you know that in 1570, the Spanish put up Aztec warriors against Muslims of the Ottoman Empire and Aceh and Sulu, stationed in Borneo and Sulu, and parts of southwestern Philippines. And the Spanish were with Aztecs and French and a few other types of warriors in the Philippines. So at one point in time, Aztecs fought Ottomans despite being on the absolute opposite sides of the planet. I thought that was pretty cool. And this actually lends itself to some things in Tagalog, which is the native language of the Philippines. They have Aztec loanwords, like tete and palinque. Pretty sure tete means mother. It's very fascinating, in my opinion. Very fascinating. Pretty neat, pretty neat. So, talking about Spain, talking about Iberia, right? Left to right on the map, you got Galicia or Gallego. You have Leon, which is a big line. You have Asturias, which is a horizontal line instead of a vertical line like Leon. You have Castile in a big block below Asturias. You have Aragon next to that, south of the Pyrenees, and then you have Valencia, Catalonia on the coast. So, Galicia, or Gallego, helped fight for Portuguese independence. Asturias and Leon melded together, although Asturias was the first Reconquista state. And Leon did a bunch of nasty dynastic political subterfuge on their own people and kind of got, like, over time pushed out by the general population, although they did absorb a lot of the ancient Asturian admixture, which is more like a Charlemagne-style, Visigothic, old Frankish style crusader state of Asturias from like 900. They have a cool flag. I actually played them on in EU4 before and did a world conquest run with Asturias. It was very fun. And Castile became the core culture of the Reconquista and later on Spain. Aragon, very, very fascinating, used to hold the entire coast, used to hold Sardinia, massive holdings in Italy, and they were like, if you trace their dynasties, they were like a Roman descendant. Very Latin, Aragon. They could have potentially even taken over all of Italy, essentially. They had Naples under a partnership, and they could have taken over all of Italy, but there were marriages that were constantly happening that, just like Burgundy, kind of placed them out of, through just being honest with it, placed them out of the run. And Valencia, Catalonia in the north, Valencia in the south, they're just chilling on the coast, you know, for the most chill parts. And yeah, they just be chilling out. I ain't got much today, I'm sorry. I went on a religious retreat, and I'm just too dang zen right meow. So hope you enjoy this little mini episode, and I hope y'all take care and have a good